angel from heaven approached me the other day. They asked me, what do you long in life? To follow your dreams? Eternal salvation? You know, otherworldly fulfillment? And I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm sitting here scratching my chin. You know what I said? Angel from heaven, I want something even better. I want a DSi XL. Now, that was a bit silly, but seriously, I think this thing is great. And I'm not gonna lie, out of all the handhelds, these are all the handhelds maybe that are in my artillery, but these are the ones that I use most prominently, so I have them lined up. But I play this one the most. Now, that might be because I've been playing freaking Phoenix Wright. I've been playing Phoenix Wright 2, which is Justice for All. I've been liking it. Pretty good stuff, you know. Objection! Pretty good stuff. Anyways, I'm getting our video just started and I'm already getting off track. Jeez. The reason the DSi XL is so great is because it has that bright, colorful screen from the DS Lite. You know, respectable sound quality, but everything is just amplified. The screen is really nice and crispy, you know, dual IPS screens. Here, why don't I turn it on? Why don't I turn it on? Crisp. There's a lot to unpack here. It's very crisp. It's very colorful. And you know, I like the presentation. It's pretty nice. But sound's on. It basically takes what the DS Lite did right and just amplifies it. I mean, really, really great stuff. I have one complaint. I object. I'm objecting right now. Objection! I have one objection, and that is, dude, they forgot the GBA port. On the original DS and the DS Lite, you could play Game Boy Advance games down here. And I thought that was a pretty nifty feature. Now, you know, in my situation, that's a Game Boy Advance game on that TV. You know, I have other means to play Game Boy Advance games, but you know, for a lot of people, let's say maybe today, you know, for preservation's sake, they want to play some old games. Now, if they buy a DS Lite, they're getting the best of two great systems, you know, artilleries of games. But on, you know, on this one, this is so great, and they amplified what was great about the DS Lite, but they just forgot a GBA port. I mean, come on, man. Not the smartest move, but I'm still grateful that, you know, an angel from heaven, my guardian angel, swept down and said, you don't need to be smarter. You don't need to take better precaution. You don't need to, you know, actually focus and have a better attention span. What you need is a DSi XL. This thing's basically a guardian angel in and of itself. I just really, and I have not the biggest hands ever, but I'd say they're, you know, I mean, they're no kitty hands, right? So some of the smaller systems like the GBA SP and the DS Lite are, you know, I can still play them, no complaints, but more or less it's not, what's the word? It's not as comfortable. You know, I have to hunch in and play it like that, whereas this I can just, relax, and just I can just kind of relax, and you know, there's some good space. I mean, even here, look, my hands are still a bit big for this thing, but I mean, these systems are made for, you know, they were made for kids, so I'm not going to be complaining about that. They gave an XL option, and that's nice. Anything more than this might not even fit in your pocket now that I'm thinking about it, and I do like to put this thing in my pocket, so I can't really blame them there. But yeah, I bring this thing with me all over the place still to this day. Well, I worded that wrong. I actually grew up with this model. I grew up with a DS Lite, which I still have, but I bought this lately because it was a little small, and I like the pixel perfect crispness of that DS Lite, but I just wanted it amplified. So I said, let's get a DSi XL, man. And yeah, I went for it. 80 bucks. I think that's not bad. Pretty decent condition, good screen. 80 bucks, you know. Salvation's only 80 bucks. Salvation is only 80 bucks, it seems. You know, there's that quote I like, salvation lies within. And that's true, you know. Sometimes to save yourself, you must look within your soul. But maybe there's a DSi XL waiting in your soul. Maybe it's patiently waiting for you, you know. Some people want to meet the love of their life. Some people want to, you know, one-up that with a DSi XL. That might be a little too far, but regardless, I want to throw something at the viewer. And that is, well, what's a system without its games? I got you covered. I got you covered. Look at this. If you want to invest in a DSi XL for only probably 80 bucks, granted, these games cost money themselves, but if you're not a collector like me and you just want to get the cartridges, cheaper. If you want to buy them in the case, like I like to do, that's going to be a bit pricier. But nonetheless, I mean, the DS is, I think it's the second best selling game console in the world at 150 million units. Just under the PlayStation 2, which is 152 million units. So it had an artillery. I mean, when I was a youngster, I played my DS. DS, 3DS, I love the 3DS. I think the 3DS is underappreciated, you know? It did sell 80 million. Okay, that's actually pretty respectfully appreciated. That's a lot of money that it made. But regardless, I love my DS. I think it was super revolutionary, and it also worsened my attention span. But look at these games. If you want to invest in a DSi XL, you're making the right choice because, you know, you've got Mario. You've got Mario Kart. You've got Zelda. You've got Kirby. You got Pokemon. Generation 5 is my favorite. Don't get me wrong, I think all the classic Pokemon is great stuff. This is my saving grace. You've got your Castlevanias. This one's not as, you know, don't get me wrong, Castlevania is pretty iconic, but I mean, not like Mario. But it is pretty iconic. Castlevania, good stuff. And then also, I put this one out there, freaking Phoenix Wright. I've been playing through the trilogy right now because my buddy was telling me about it. He's like, I beat the trilogy. And I'm thinking, well, I've been buying up some DS games lately. Why don't I get the trilogy? Because I heard they were great. Let's check them out. So I did. I beat this one. Oh, so good. And I'm in the middle of the second one, which is Justice for All. So yeah, not done with it yet, but that's the goal, is to play through the trilogy. No, but seriously, get a DSi XL. It's crisp, it's colorful, good sound quality, pretty good battery life too. I mean, this thing outlives my phone in pretty much every circumstance. I mean, there's a camera on it. I mean, it's fun to have the camera, you know. Let's take a picture. Now, I think that's pretty nifty, right? I suppose we'll save the picture. And then there's also, they used to have a eShop on here. You know, they had to discontinue it because this is a bit older of a unit now. 2008, I believe, was when the XL came out. It was 08 or 09. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but that era. There was an eShop. There was, you could connect with your friends and play games together, but that's been a thing for a while. You could write notes down. There were the Brain Age Express games downloaded on your system, and it would basically test your brain, and it would help you focus. I gotta play them. I gotta plan. I have the attention span of a freaking chihuahua, so I gotta indulge. Yeah, there's a clock. There's a clock on here. I mean, watch. You know what? I would say, well, look at the time, but I'm not wearing a watch right now. Whoops. Gotta remember to keep my watch on. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's not really more for me to say. Get a DSi XL. I love it. It's amazing. And I bring it with me more than I bring like my Switch. I know. That's bold of me to say, but it's true. I've just been really loving my DSi XL right now. And it's not the priciest thing ever. Hop on eBay, you know, 80 bucks. 80 bucks isn't cheap, but you know, for salvation, 80 bucks is a pretty good price. I would say 80 bucks for salvation is definitely ideal. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, no money can, you know, purchase true salvation. That lies within the soul, I would say. What am I talking about? All right. I think it's time to wrap this up. I would say definitely get yourself a DSi XL. Now, I've got to get out of here.